Boozeketeers, and happy Cinco de Mayo. Yes, that's right. It's that one time of year where we get to drink tequila in amounts that we normally probably wouldn't. But I'm not saying you can't. You have as a Boozeketeer, you have a license to drink all drinks. You can drink all of the drinks. And there is no shame involved. Not that you can quantify through normal computing. But hey, yeah, here we are. I don't know how many of you joined us for the live stream we did with the Boozeketeers there. 4.5 hours of goodness. But yeah, we had too good of time. That was the problem. We had too good of time because we were drinking all the drinks, and it went on. Mm-hmm. It did. But yeah, how's everybody doing? You guys, I'm wondering who's like celebrating, and because the restrictions are lifted. No more coronavirus. It's all gone. No, it's not true. But I know that I know I went out earlier to get some ice, and nobody was wearing masks, and people were hooting and hollering and whooping it up. And I figured, they don't care. But I do. I care about you guys. I care about you Boozeketeers. And no, I'm kidding. Luckily, you cannot catch the coronavirus through the internet without a special filter. It's true. I read that on the scientific media. But what are we doing tonight? What are we doing? Well, I thought about it, and I thought, first I thought maybe we should just do tequila shots. But we've already done that on one show, and I learned that basically there's not a lot to it. I mean, you do the lime, the salt, or you put the lime in the gladdy. There's all different ways. Actually, the proper way, as I understand, to do tequila shots is you put the tequila in a shot glass, and then you squeeze lime into it, and then you put a pre-1972 penny under your tongue, and then drink the shot, but don't swallow the penny. Johnny Depp came to me in a dream and told me that's how they do it, because pennies are naturally salty. Some wisdom imparted to you by way of the rook. Hey, what are we doing? I know CJ's probably by now going, why is there not drinking happening already? And I didn't post the spoilers because I didn't know what drink. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, what could I do that would be fun and interesting, and that sort of thing. I was thinking I could, everybody's going out. People are going out and trying to figure out the Cinco de Mayo. It's like people they take anything and add a little Mexican flag pick to it or something and call it, add a little something. Like I used to make a Mai Tai, put in a Mexican flag. It's El Mai Tai. Yeah. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Napoleon didn't win the Civil War just so some burger worshiper could leave the cheese out the wind. No, that's the thing. And I'm not just gonna put a sombrero on Mai Tai and call it a new drink, because I don't think that's right. Because you guys are the Boozeketeers, and that means that we love the freedom and the rights that are not just tamper evident, but sanitized for your protection. With that, I thought, I gotta figure it out. I gotta see what I have. And so I went to I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna have to go back to the drawing board store for a whole new batch of waterproof dry erase markers. And with that, I figured I'd give a quick nod to those who came before and try something completely new, I hope, because I've never heard of it. But we're gonna try it out anyway. And I call it the Cinco de Mai Tai, because that way I can tie it all in, but with a, So what are we gonna do? How does it work? You're like, what? How does that work? Well, here's how it works. We start with a skull full of ice. Not unlike me. What we're going to do is take yonder double rock skull, fill it with some ice. This here is nice crushed pebble ice in little tiny pieces. I told you before, this is fantastic. Look at this little chunk. That's good. And what are we going to do? Well, why is it called a Mai Tai? Well, because it follows a fairly standard Mai Tai ratio recipe, but we're going to do some different things. So we're going to put in some rapazo. I don't know how to pronounce that because I don't drink a whole lot of tequila. But we're going to put in an ounce of that. We're going to put in an ounce standard gold tequila. was a Mai Tai, these would be two different kinds of rum. A light rum and a dark rum. Then we're going to put in 1/3 of an ounce of orange agave liqueur. And then we're going to put in 1/3 of an ounce of orgeat. Orgeat, for those of you in the know, is it's a kind of like a very thick, simple syrup, but it's flavored with a lot of other things, with a little orange essence and almond primarily, and hints of vanilla and stuff like that there, or rose water. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. I make my own, and it's beautiful, I think. And then we're going to put in 1/3 of an ounce of chili lime infused simple syrup. Right in there. Then 3/4 of an ounce fresh lime juice. We're going to shake it all up with the ice that was in the glass. That's the thing, because this is going to be a rock drink. We're going to want that to weaken. And the ice. Then, oh, I forgot my fresh mint. Would you mind grabbing me a little sprig of fresh mint? Just a sprig, a couple of these. We're going to garnish that. A little squeeze of lime. Lime wedge and a cherry. And a little sprig of fresh mint, which I've been growing in the windowsill these past few days. And I think it's going to be happy there. I didn't bring any straws, but that's okay. I'll drink it savage style. That's right. Yes. I can't wait. I'm in anticipatory glory. Over what is hopefully a justified cocktail. Look at that. Beautiful. You're supposed to spank your mint, which I think is, I don't know if you're supposed to, but it's a fetish thing. So. Alrighty, here we go. The Cinco de Mai Tai. That's delicious. I'm so happy when they turn out good, especially because this is a Tiki King original, which I figured, is important. Make a new drink and see how things go. It's quite a bit like, I don't know, you tell me. Producer Maggie's going to give it the nod of approval or disapproval. It tastes like both a margarita and a Mai Tai.
It does.
It's like you can't, your mouth goes back and forth between which one it is. I like it. So there we go. The Cinco de Mai Tai. I'm going to put it up it's going to go up on the Tiki King cocktail database under the Tiki King original, so you can give it a try yourself and see what happens. What do you think? What do you think could make that better? Oh, I think it's pretty good. But you have to like tequila, though. Tequila is one of those things that's, it definitely has its own personality. It's got its own flavor profile going on. And it certainly isn't hiding in this drink. Like I said, you can tell right off the bat that it's a tequila drink because tequila has that flavor, but it's not overpowering. It isn't, I don't know. Tequila's one of those things too. You got to be careful. It's a time bomb liquor. You put a time bomb in front of it, it'll lick away till you make it stop. It's true. No, it's one of those things that you make this drink, you're gonna drink it and go, yeah, nothing. I'm not feeling it. And then you're gonna make another. And then you're going to go, you know, let's just do some shots. And you're going to go, man, this is doing nothing. Tequila. And then when you wake up, you're going to be like, where are we? And they're like, Iowa. And you're like, why am I planting corn? And they'll say, nobody knows, but you seem really insistent. So it's just like one of those. It's one of those things. Tequila, I always say, if you're going to drink tequila, when you wake up, tell them Tiki King sent you. It's not, it won't help, but I'll laugh. So aside from maybe joining in the madness and watching our Zoom live stream, have you guys, have you Boozeketeers been keeping in contact with each other through the magic of the internet? Because we've been experimenting with it and having ourselves a good old time. And Boozeketeer Turk and Boozeketeer Matt and Boozeketeer Kim were all on the Zoom last night, and we were drinking and carrying on and grand falutin and all that sort of thing. And we had a good time doing it. And I've been noticing there's been a lot more of these sort of like Zoom meetups with bartenders. I know Marie King, she's with the Tonga. She's been doing some, I think, virtual rum tasting. I'm not sure exactly how it works, because when it comes to tasting booze, I like to taste it, like it for real. But she's one of the masters of the rum, and we did one of her rum tastings at the Adventure Club. Here we go. The Adventure Club of Los Angeles. We were down there for a party. It was having ourselves a good old time. She was doing a rum tasting for tiki rum, which almost was all very good. They had a variety of things you could choose from, and I choose them all. That was my want. So, but yeah. So she's doing some Zoom meetup things and discussing rums and their various usages and flavor profiles and whatnot. I've been seeing different bartenders around, different things, doing like online sort of seminar things and inviting in guests, which that's, if you did watch the Boozeketeers live stream, once you're a Boozeketeer, I guess you're always a Boozeketeer. I don't know how that works. But our previous didgeridoo player, Jay Atwood, came on and we played some music and we had ourselves a good time. But it's kind of neat. It's like, I'm wondering how much it's going to open up sort of a new frontier of social media. Because now I know a lot of people sort of shied away from that sort of thing because they were like, well, I don't want to just like sit around staring at a computer screen. But now that that's kind of what our choice is, you find that it's not quite as scary, and it's not quite getting as boring. No, come closer. Yes. Okay. Producer Maggie's up there. She's got her whiteboard. It just had a picture of my face with an arrow. I thought she wanted to shoot me with an arrow, but it's apparently I was slowly backing away, which I'm not supposed to do. Yeah. Which I guess I have a light back here, but I don't have it on. But I think it's just because the size of my enormous noggin disappears into the ceiling. We have to get a smaller camera rig, I think, so we can mount it a little lower.
We just need to put it down here like it was.
Yeah, we could. I wonder if we could.
Last week.
Yep.
We just ran out of time.
We just need a tripod
today.
And we could just go nutty. Than we are. We don't need a tripod. We could just go nutty in general.
Who liked the video? Who liked the video view from last week better than this week? That is my question.
That's your question?
Yeah, because last week we had the computer down.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Actually, I know Boozeketeer CJ said nice new camera, and it wasn't actually a new camera. We because of the format of last week's show, because I wanted to bring you guys into the bar, we decided to do it on the laptop, so I wouldn't have to fumble with the tripod that the camera's on. And so we had it actually down a lot lower, so the perspective was looking up, I think, quite a bit more. And it also had a little bit of fisheye. So maybe we need to experiment with putting the camera down lower. Because, why not? Good fisheye lens. I actually have a fisheye lens for this. We can put it on there and we can zoom in and step back. We could zoom in and pan out at the same time. And it would be like a Hollywood movie where everything was scary. I could see this being one of those drinks that could get a man in trouble. Because like I said, you'll be well into your third before you think your second one is even working. But then guess what? Surprise. come for you. Well, I have to be careful. Tequila is one of those. I learned. Well, I never learned, but I discovered through no fault of my own that sometimes tequila has a certain effect on people, and sometimes that effect can be that they're not adverse to tasks that maybe should have some aversion. I don't know. I know that they say that if you're afraid of police, drinking tequila will cure that. Which I don't know if that's a good thing. I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying. I'm just observing. I'm sort of nature's observer. I'm like a drunk anthropologist, and you people are my strange ape crickets that I watch from afar with a telescope turned the other way, so it looks like you're a long ways away, but I don't have to walk quite as far to go to the bar. Because, you know, I want to observe. I want to know what happens. I want to know what makes it all tick. And I'm hoping it's not just. I'm hoping it is ticking and not just a pipe leaking. Because you gotta find that stuff fast, because it'll cause problems, which we know. The pipes leak. You're like, no, it's just crickets. They're just in there chirping happily away. But no, turns out they're not. It's mushrooms growing in the baseboard. And that, my friends, is a situation that you do not want to experience while you're not at home. Trust me. Actually, I don't think you want to experience it when you're at home. You don't want to experience it. So, remember, crickets, good, unless you don't like crickets. Leaky pipes, bad, unless it's a mister and it's hot outside and you're on the deck with a drink. Yes. So, one of the somebody, there was a person, a human, came to me in a dreamlike state saying, Tiki King, you should do a Patreon for your show. And I said, I already have a Patreon, but it's for something else. And they said, right, which no one cares about. So you should do one that's like about your show. And I said, do people care about that? And they said, no, but it'll be funny watching you do all that effort. So I was thinking, that might be something to look into. But I don't know how people feel about it. But I do know that people always say, hey, how can we help support the show? And I say, well, you know, send booze, but that's expensive and it could cost thousands of lives because you don't know how there could be someone making moonshine, explosion, takes out half a block. That's not worth it. I don't think so. But if I did a Patreon, you know, we could work out something, we could have a deal. So, you know, if that sounds like something that people might be interested in, let me know. But I do know something that people are interested in. That's Tiki King's goodness online. Yes, Tiki King, the man who brings you things that look like tiki sometimes. Tiki King. Yes. No, you can go to my website. If you want to help support this show and others like it, go to tikiking.com and go to the store, click on the booze portal, do all kinds of stuff. Mess around in there. It's okay. We like you. We'll just think it's crickets. You don't have to worry about it. And if you don't like the show, then go in and start a fire and run out. Don't tell anyone. Then problem solved. That's good. I like that. I like this drink. Maybe too much. I don't know. Yes. Anyway, and someone also mentioned, you know what, if you had a Patreon, you could have people could submit cocktails and you could give them a reward by making the cocktail they submit. And I thought, you know, I do that anyway. You people should, which someone did. Someone sent me a cocktail and I'm going to have to look it up. I believe it was Boozeketeer Chock sent a suggestion for a cocktail. And we're going to give that one a try here shortly down the road. But follow his example, man. Be like Turk. Be like the two separate gorillas that make up our one Turk Boozeketeer. And send in 2 recipes at once, written on 2 separate envelopes, but taped together so that they're facing each other, so that no one knows. Because that's important, apparently. They told me. I don't know if I can trust them. They wear hats. Can you trust a person wearing a hat? I took that class in high school, which may have been why my high school career wasn't very good. How do you know which hats to trust? It seemed like a better choice than home ec, but I think home ec would have been better because they, at least at mine, they taught you how to like write checks and do taxes. which apparently is handy. Much handier than like trying to figure out by someone's hat whether or not they're evil. Because you just don't know. We did find out today, though, that apparently there's an evil English accent, right? Did we find out which one it was? Like Herefordshire or something? We don't know. But there was a reference to an evil English accent, and I thought, I don't know. I would have to say Jarvis doesn't sound particularly evil. I think he could threaten us, and we'd be like, oh, okay. You know, because he's called me. He does our friend Jarvis does a show where he reads not children's stories, but reads them as though they're children's stories. All kinds of fun stuff. Is that on Sundays? Look it up.
It's on Sunday night.
Sunday night, yeah. He does
currently
story readings, and it can be fun. It can. It hasn't been yet.
It might be someday.
No, you can go on and listen, and then tell me if you felt threatened. And if you do, then we're going to sue him. Oh, because apparently that's how it works. Okay, Boozeketeers. You know what? I'm going to finish this one early because I know otherwise I'm going to mix up a few more of these, and it's going to get incoherent.
You're not going to talk about all the stuff you found outside today?
Oh yeah. So I went out. So I went out metal detecting in the backyard because one of the things I was trying to detect was arrows because I ran out of arrows, and they were all buried out in the backyard because and they go and there's a lot of tall weeds and a lot of detritus and stuff, and not bad detritus, not like dead robots, anything like that, because we don't know about that. We love robots. Don't tell people that. So I had these aluminum arrows, and so I went out to find them. And I thought, hey, metal detector, we'll do that. So got out the metal detector, went out and looked for the arrows, and eventually I did find them. But one of the things I found a set of tire chain, which I didn't know what it was. It was just chains upon chains upon chains. And I found a cable. I was like, what's this cable? So I started pulling on it, and it went like halfway across the yard. And the other end was attached to a stake driven deep into the earth. And I thought, were there zombies out here at one time? They had to keep them restrained so that they wouldn't get to the house, but would keep the other zombies at bay. Turned out, no, it was a goat. But there was no goat there. And if there was, you can't detect them with metal detectors, apparently. But and I found lots of pieces of dog chew pipe plate and nails and some rebar. There's a lot, which people said, is that your backyard? It's huge. And I'm like, yeah, it's full of metal, baby. I'm telling you. I went out there, I'm like, I know, I'll just go out there and sweep back and forth until I find the arrows. And it's like, I walked outside and it went, boo! And I was like, maybe. So I turned the sensitivity down to like -8. And I was able to find the arrows, which was good because you can't shoot arrows that are hidden in the dirt and weeds. You can. But you have to use a gun, and the neighbors get upset about it. So, there you go. That's what I did today. What did you guys do? Did you guys do anything fun? Did you go out and get some chips and salsa? Or stay in? Order in chips and salsa? You should have. Cinco de Mayo, baby. Cinco de Mayo. I remember many years ago, actually it was a Boozeketeer Turk and Boozeketeer Matt had helped me move, and I moved to Santa Cruz. And we decided, hey, let's go get some Mexican food. And we went out to try to get Mexican food, and everywhere was completely packed. And we just couldn't figure, we had no idea. It was Cinco de Mayo. It was like, what the heck? Why is everybody at every Mexican restaurant? This is unnerving. But no, it wasn't unnerving. It was Cinco de Mayo. Everybody was out celebrating. Did anyone celebrate Cinco de Cuatro, which was yesterday, apparently? We didn't. We forgot. Apparently, you're supposed to go out and buy up all the booze so that no one can have any on Cinco de Mayo. That's the theme of Cinco de Cuatro. But we forgot. And here we are. So what are the Boozeketeers drinking out there? Has anyone divulged their cocktail for the evening? Is anyone drinking Coronas? You can, It's safe. It's okay. No one will harm you. See, now we passed the limit, and I'm going to have to make another drink. Because, see, I knew that there was like there was an edge to the sanity,
Do you want me to bring you a different kind of drink?
and that would go away. No, we're
Okay.
gonna get all these
All right.
because they're good. How good? So good that even though I know I shouldn't have another one, I'm gonna anyway. But this will be kind of like a refresher course on what exactly I did, because I know that some people are like, what was that all about? What was happening there? And maybe I'll let you in on a couple of secrets as we go along. So, light tequila. Letting that go. And gold tequila. We'll put some of that in there too. I bet Julia Child, if she was here, she'd do that. You should put in some more tequila, because the more you put in, the more you'll have in your drink. And it's delicious. She used to come to my parties, but one day I asked her to bring a whole dressed deer. She wouldn't do it. She brought a naked one, and that just caused havoc. Yeah. Third an ounce of orange agave liqueur. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Tiki King, come on, seriously? You can't just like go to the store and get orange agave liqueur. Well, yeah, you can. That's the thing, especially if you're not in Utah, because I got this in California. But it's actually quite common. This is agave nectar orange liqueur, made with silver tequila. Look at that. That's crazy. Yeah. And it's 64 proof, which is not bad for a liqueur. Okay, so we got that. Then orgeat. Okay, so we talked a little bit about orgeat. I actually made this myself. And this is a semi-cheater's orgeat because to make it the right way, you have to blanch almonds and boil them and all that sort of thing. But instead, I used almond extract, and I used some orange extract, and I used rose water. All of those things can be found at, some supermarkets. So simple syrup is usually 1-to-1 boiling water and sugar, and you stir it until it dissolves. But for the orgeat, I like a thicker mixture, so I usually go with almost 2 cups of sugar, so that it ends up a higher density sugar syrup. But here's one thing if you're making the orgeat, like I said, rose water, a little, and I mean like a dip a toothpick in and put that in there. It goes a long ways. You put in too much rose water and it ends up tasting like perfume, which some people like, some people don't. Okay, chili lime infused simple syrup. We just talked about the orgeat, simple syrup. What this is before I made this simple syrup, I boiled in with the water. I used actually crystallized powdered lime and tahini, which actually has a little bit in it. But here's the thing. Here's a couple things that happen in there. Is it has chili powder, but it also has salt, which then adds towards if you're having a margarita, right? Salt on the rim. So the chili infused simple syrup has all those sort of like little taste profiles going for it. So I made that myself. You're not going to find that in the store, as far as I know. Maybe you can. Who knows? I wouldn't imagine that you could though. I can imagine it. I'm pretty well equipped in the imagination department. Did I put in lime juice? Oh my gosh. Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't trust you. I can't see. Maybe. Well, if it's too sweet, then we'll know. And I've talked about this before because it's something that I like a lot, is that these things, simple syrup and orgeat and mint syrup and all kinds of different syrups, you can make your own using a simple syrup recipe, sugar and water, and then add to it various stuff, which, like I said, you can find all sorts of extracts in a supermarket. You can also go, if you want to get all fancy and organic, you can go to like a health food store and buy, what the heck was that? Something exploded. It wasn't me. Garnish.
I don't know what that was.
Was that the ice exploding?
No.
Hmm.
I don't know what that was.
Oh. Yep, I forgot the line. That's okay.
It crashed.
The crash
I don't know what that was.
preemptively made me forget about the line. Back in garnishes. Hello. There we go. Delicious. It's a happy drink right there. That's a drink with a taste, with a flavor, all its own. I'm gonna have to say that I do enjoy it. It's good stuff. Yeah. So did everybody have Mexican food tonight? Did you go out and get some carnitas? Perhaps a burrito? I don't know. Well, producer Maggie went off to investigate the sound of the explosion. I don't know what it was. But it wasn't me. I mean, usually it would be. If there was like, I heard an explosion, it's like, yeah, I know. Probably me. But this time it wasn't. Could be somebody celebrating Mexican Independence Day, since it is in fact the 5th of May. The 5th of May and the 5th of May. Do not forget the 5th of May. Wear your Ella Fox mask and go do that sort of thing. Yeah, so I'm always on the lookout for new delicious drinks. And when I can't find one, I make one up, as I did tonight. And as I might often say, I'm pleased with the results. I'm gonna put, like I said, I'm gonna put this up on the cocktail database because I think we should share it. Besides, it'll give you an excuse to go out and make yourself some kind of crazy syrups. Yeah. Like I said, you know, it's some people, and I applaud their efforts because they come up with a far superior product. But there are lots of recipes online for a lot of different syrups that you'll encounter, and some of them, like I said, you can make on your own. And some, hey, experiment. Go out there, go to the extract aisle of your local market, and see what they have to offer. Because you can make syrup. You can make, I mean, mint, banana, lemon, pretty much anything you can think of. You can make a syrup which has that flavor profile if that's the thing you need to go in your specific drink. So, and I always say, you know, hey, make it, experiment, have a good time. Alrighty, and with that, as I tried to leave before, producer Maggie said, no, you can't, because you've not given them value for dollar yet. And I think I've given people a dollar's worth of value so far tonight. Actually, in the history of the show, which this was episode 111. 111 episodes, and I think 100 of them are up on YouTube. I haven't. They aren't all. I have been lackadaisical in my laxness of putting up the episodes online because we're thinking about restructuring the names so that they're easier to find when you search. Because every one of them is called Cocktales and Tiki King, and apparently that's confusing to some people. Like, if you were a true fan, you'd know. You could just say Cocktales and Tiki King. I love that one, you know. But anyway, there you go, Boozeketeers. I hope you're all having a wonderful Cinco de Mai. And if you ever have questions about things, feel free to ask. Go ahead and send me an email, drop me a line, send me a message. I can't promise that I have the answer, but I promise I can make something up that might sound convincing. So, you know. Yeah, if you're looking for, hey, I want this special recipe. I want something that's gonna, you know, to just push me over the edge. Then you let me know you let me know your particular needs, and I'll try and fill them. But until then, this is Tiki King saying good night and good drinking.